Welcome back to Talking Ball. Today we're looking at Grant Nelson, the forward center from Alabama, 6'10", 7-foot wingspan, 230 pounds. Spent his first 3 years with North Dakota State before transferring over to Alabama. He's been on draft radars for quite some time at this point, the fifth-year player. He really emerged when he was at North Dakota State, transferred to Alabama, was part of two excellent Alabama teams these past 2 seasons, and a major contributor to both of those teams. And I think is a guy who has a chance to become an NBA rotation player. All right, so what does Grant Nelson do? Well, I think he's a really well-rounded player. Defensively, I think he's a little bit underrated. I think he does a really good job moving his feet, staying in front of players, and he's a good weak side shot blocker. He did a really good job guarding Cooper Flagg, using his size and length to make things difficult, force Cooper to take shots from out a little bit further than he would like to. He's a good off-ball mover, off-ball cutter, can time his cuts to the rim to find openings and get easy layups and dunks. Offensively, he's got a good feel for the game. He can make the right pass. He can shoot a little bit. And I think he's a guy who can just be, he can kind of fit into the offense. He can be within the offense, which I think is really important. So I think you've got a guy who's a solid defender, good weak side shot blocker, and a player offensively who can fit in, can do some off ball cutting, and like occasionally if you give him the ball in the post against a smaller player, can make that matchup work for him. But he's not going to get too many of those opportunities in the NBA. So statistically, Grant Nelson, you know, in his 5 years, 3 with North Dakota State, the past 2 with Alabama, he kind of has had like a little bit of it's an interesting path because transferring to Alabama, he's gotten better in certain places. I would argue, even though the stats don't necessarily indicate so, I think his defense has improved. His counting stats are down, and his percentages are down, except for his 2-point percentage, which I think is a product of Alabama's offense, which is going to play well for him at the next level. I think he's got a lot of experience as long as he goes to a team with good spacing. The thing for me that I really wanted to highlight here is the 3-point shooting, which has gotten worse pretty much every year since his freshman year. And the reason I bring that up is because I think it's a swing skill for Grant Nelson. Not for everybody. It would be really easy to say, can you shoot the three? Yes or no? How good are you gonna be in the NBA? I think you could say that for a lot of people, but the reason specifically I say this for Grant Nelson, and please like this video, subscribe to the channel, it really means a lot, is because Nelson checks a lot of other boxes. And because of that, the 3-point shot's the only other box where, in terms of being a rotation player, I have questions. And that's not just the 3-point shooting, but the free throw shooting, which is really an indicator of how well you'll shoot the three in the NBA. And it just hasn't been there for Grant. But there have been peaks, and that's the thing with Grant Nelson. He has shown us multiple times, whether you look at the Auburn game, the Kentucky game, there are times throughout the Florida, the first time, even the second time against Florida before he got hurt, it was a very close game, and then once he gets hurt, they end up losing by 20. Grant Nelson can be a difference maker when he is taking threes. Doesn't even have to make them. He's just got to take them. And when he's taken, 5 or more threes, he tends to make more of them. His shot is a little bit flat. He's probably got to improve the arc on it, but man, that is the swing skill for Grant Nelson, because I think if he can shoot the three, he can play at the 4. If not, he's going to have to be a little bit of an undersized 5. And I know people are going to say, well, Jack, there's a lot of double bigs out there right now, and that is true. But when you look at the teams playing double bigs, the guys playing at the 4 spot can either shoot the 3 well or at least good enough. Looking at like a Chet Holmgren, an Al Horford, a Naz Reid. We'll leave it at that. Or somebody who may not shoot a ton of threes, but is just an out-and-out all NBA defensive player like an Evan Mobley. So I don't see Grant Nelson fitting into either of those spots as of now. But if he can improve the 3-point shooting, then I think he can be an effective part of double big lineups. Let me know what you guys think about Grant Nelson. Where do you see him being drafted? I think he's a late second round guy to undrafted. And who else you want to see profiled here on Talking Ball? We've got about a month, only a month until the NBA draft. Until next time, guys. Peace.